few seconds, but before that, you have to make sure to click that like and subscribe button, because if you want to be staying updated regarding all of these custom matches, all of these custom scrims, then you definitely want to give hit that follow button so that you will be updated every single time. But again, we're gonna have a match of Valorant in front of us today. It was not a best of three just because of some time constraints, but we will definitely have an amazing best of one match. Now, you have me as your caster, and that's scared yet. I'll be doing the solo casting for the tournament for now. But again, we'll possibly have a few more casters when we'll be moving this project on to the next stage. But nonetheless, I know you all are pretty excited about the match. We were supposed to start on at 4, but due to some unfortunate delays, we had to delay the stream till 5. But we are here on time now. Just 10 minutes up and down. It always happens. Nonetheless, we will be having the match, and that is going to be a pretty amazing match. And honestly, I'm pretty these teams going in with their strategies, going in with their new game. I kind of want to see the new agents as well into the composition. The Gecko, he's been pretty old now, but yes, a deadlock. We don't usually see a deadlock in any international compositions, but let's have a look at the teams who will be playing in front of us. That's going to be Sub Zero taking on Blackcliff. So we're going to have two amazing teams, and they will be going in this best of one together, fighting it head on, going in with that collision. Sub Zero in a pretty solid team with a little aggressive compositions and aggressive playstyle, but they've been doing excellent in that department. The execution always on point. While when you are talking about the Black Cliff, you always know that they're a little more patient. This is a team who likes to play it with the time, who knows, who tries to go in for that map control and then move their way forward. So again, it's basically two different strategies colliding against each other, and one of them is going to be coming out on top, and we'll have to see, will that be that aggressive play style or will it be the little patient play style? Now, that's the thing. When two different play styles collide, it always comes down to those micro plays, those micro adjustments and micro decision makings. And if you're talking about those micro plays, the aim is one of the most important thing that everybody talks about. Even your crosshair placement and all those things that you actually need to make sure to get onto that higher rank can be extremely valuable in those plays. Now, the most important role for the entry of the site is, of course, everyone knows that it's a duelist. You have to open up the site, you have to open up the space for your own team. And again, their combination with their initiators, with their controllers is extremely important, because again, the setups are going to be provided by the other two roles so that the duelist could just jump inside that site. And that kind of combination is what I'm looking for when I'm seeing the team of Sub Zero. Because again, just as we mentioned, they are a little on that aggressive end, so they would love to go in for those preemptive plays, preemptive setups, and possibly even some set plays, if I might say. Now, I know you all are waiting to see what map is it going to be. We're gonna have that in just a few more minutes, and these teams will be getting ready in the lobby to fight it on, to battle it out in that amazing matchup. So we were talking about the compositions a little while ago. I would just like to put some more light onto it, because we're not seeing deadlock being used a lot in even in the rank compositions, even in the competitive games. So one of the reasons why that might be is because of the fact that yes, she has got the utility to hold on to her side. She's a pretty solid sentinel. You've got her noise traps as well, but even after that, I think so many a times player would just try and decide to not make a noise while moving through a choke point or through a place, only to avoid a trip. And again, if you're moving slow, you would be able to notice that trip is there. You can just avoid it without giving any noise cue. So I think so. Cypher as well as a Killjoy still do a pretty better job than a Deadlock. That is the one of the main reason why a lot of people still lean on towards those OG Sentinels, OG Sents that we've been seeing. Even I believe a Chamber would provide a little extra help whenever it comes to those executes and stopping those backstabs, because the alarm out of the chamber, it gets you that vision, the information, at least not the vision, it's the information game. So again, that's one of the reason why people kind of avoid the deadlock. But yes, it is a pretty solid unit to stop those hard pushes through those choke points. With the wall, that four-way wall, you have to have a lot of bullets in the magazine to actually, shoot that center part and finish things off, so that you'd be able to go in with that site execute. So it's a very good tool to delay it, but you also have that trap which forces people to crouch. But even after all of that, one of the main tool that's going to be our ultimate. yes, you can shoot it onto the people, but they can get their person freed up as well if they're behind a wall or anything of that sort. So we've seen a lot of situations when which a deadlock majorly is rendered useless, but still there might be a few more compositions that she might be good in. So I would want to see these teams try new things out as well. Maybe go for a double sentinel composition, try to hold on to those defensive halves a little more, maybe get an 8-4. So that might help their team a lot as well. Who knows? It might actually work out because it also depends on the map as well. Because we know if in case we're going to see the Ascent, we will probably see those standard compositions with the Sova, Omen, KO, and Jet and Killjoy, or maybe um, Raze and a Killjoy, Raze and a Cypher. We sometimes see some adaptations in the Duelist and Sentinel department, but the double initiator composition is just must in that map, and we know how different sided that map is. So possible that we'll probably see those standard compositions. While if we're talking about some different maps, maybe let's say Split or even Haven, you do have quite a lot of choke points to stop using that deadlock's wall. So I think so that it might be a situation wherein they might decide to go in for that. However, it depends on which hero their team is comfortable with. The agent that they're most comfortable with is probably the one they are going to secure to make sure to go into this match, because they will be playing just a best of one. It's a do or die situation. You do not have second chances in this game. So that's one of the main things they'd be looking forward to. I know you all have been waiting very long. We'll be just jumping into the match real quick. But again, you all are watching the Crowd Control Esports Valorant weekly scrims, and we're gonna have more of them in the future as well. So you do have to make sure to keep a follow so that you'll be updated regarding every single thing. And yes, we've been waiting for the map, and it is going to be Ascent. And guess what? It's going to be Sub-Zero on the defensive side, while Blackclear will be on the attacking side. Yeah, I had a little sneak peek into the situation, but again, we've been talking about Ascent, and that is the map that we are seeing. One of the most OG map, played a lot. You know, basically every single strategy of that map. So there, I don't think so are a lot of plays that you can actually make. Maybe go for a few set plays. We've been seeing a lot of Valorant champions as well. So we've seen a lot of teams playing on that Ascent map, and we have been seeing, watching them, learning from them, how to go in for those set plays, how to go in for those set compositions. Now that's one thing that I do expect the teams to catch up and take a page of the book and apply it onto these scrims, these games, because these are the situations and these are the games when we'll be learning things, we'll be practicing those things, and once we practice, then we'll be able to perfectly apply them into the main games as well. Since it's the scrims, this is the perfect chance for you to actually go on for some new comps, for maybe some new agent setups. We've seen Loud try the Viper as well on the Ascent. Sometimes it worked out, but majority of the times it did not. Since it's the Ascent map, we have that set composition. But nonetheless, we do see a lot of teams not respecting that, going in for some comfortable picks, comfortable setups, comfortable compositions. So that might be the situation between these teams. I would also expect maybe Sub-Zero to go in for a double duelist composition as well, because again, who does not love a jet and a raise into your own comp, so that you have a lot of agents to create that space. You have a chance to create that room and then jump towards that side to finish things off. Since Ascent is a very defense-sided map, I am expecting Sub-Zero to get at least 7 to 8 rounds onto that defense. 8 is a bare minimum whenever you're playing in Ascent, because attacking is extremely difficult. There are not a lot of positions for the attackers to work with. Defenders just have to watch a few places. You also have a lot of choke points, and the rotation is extremely quick onto this map for the side of defenders. So it's extremely easy to quickly stack a site and then rotate towards the other side whenever you'd be on that defensive half. But that's one of the things, right? We still see a lot of comebacks coming in, and that too in the attacking half. So your defense is only as good as your offense, and vice versa. So I would really love to see these teams going at it, going out each other. I mean, it's basically going to be a prelude for one of them for even a greater glory, but for one, it's going to be the end of their match or maybe their dreams, and that's basically a little extra exaggeration. Nonetheless, we're gonna use that whenever we'd be jumping in a grand finals of a match. It's a very good line that I heard from one of the casters, and best part, I don't even know what their name is. I just took a page out of the book. So this is what we call learning along the way. I know we'll be beginning the matches real quick. Just a few more minutes while the teams get ready up into the lobby. We want to make sure that everything is perfectly set up, and then we'll be jumping in the main match. Now, I know even these teams would be pretty anxious since they've been waiting for a long time as well to match against each other. And whenever you'd be jumping into the match, the first few rounds are extremely crucial, especially when you're talking about the pistol round. When you take that pistol, you basically get a momentum. And if in case you get a flawless pistol, or maybe 3 or 4 of your members are surviving, or two of them get a 3K, that's basically a very good boost to the confidence. And that makes sure that you probably get the next round as the anti-eco, and maybe if you're actually on fire, you might as well get the bonus round and get a 3-0 lead, and that basically makes it a 4-0 lead. So that's the main momentum, right? In the first few rounds, they're extremely crucial for a team whenever they're a momentum based team. And again, Sub-Zero, they love to play with that momentum. They really love to go in for those aggressive plays. So it is highly possible that we might possibly see them going in for some aggressive pistol plays, maybe getting a couple of frenzies in their hands, or a few of those ghosts, just a headshot and the enemy is done. So there are a few things that I might love to see from their side, but we've been talking about Sub-Zero a lot. Now I want to focus down on Blackcliff as well, since again, it's Ascent, and you do need patience on this map, because in terms of execution, you do not have a lot of ways. There's just a few ways that you can work with. And since this map has been in Valorant for extremely long time, most of the players are so well versed with this map that they basically know what is happening. So that's one of the things that probably they need to watch out for. However, they'll just again, it comes down to how well they execute things. So that's going to be one of the question that they would have to answer in that matchup. Either ways, since we've been discussing how Blackcliff is going to come around that extra aggressive composition that Sub-Zero might actually go with, I think so. Double Sentinel would be a pretty decent answer. We've been discussing that just before the team matchups, and we know that yes, since there are set comps in Ascent, they might not lean in towards it, but we have seen a lot of teams adapting, a lot of teams learning along the way, and bringing in their own new meta. So a double sentinel might also not be extremely bad. Maybe get a Cypher Killjoy, or get a Deadlock Killjoy, Deadlock Cypher. That's gonna be some decent comps. We've seen a lot of Sages as well coming in. We know how well her wall can be, how delay can it do to the opposition's attack. So those are a few things that maybe they can actually go with, and it might work out for them extremely well. Now, in order to stop that double duelist composition, you need to have those trips, those utilities on places when the duelists are going to create the space and dash into. Maybe if a jet throws smoke in the site, you might as well place some Killjoy Molly over there, so that when the jet dashes in, you activate that Molly and pose a threat to the positioning of the jet. But nonetheless, we've been talking a lot about the comms. Now, one thing that I did not talk about is literally a Reyna, and we are seeing the Reyna coming in. Now we know we've played against that I miss you Reyna every single time in those ranked matches. They either top frag or they either bottom frag. There's no in between in those games. So let's see which Reyna in this composition actually top frags, and which one would be the one who would not be able to play up to that mark, or maybe they both top frag in their own team. Who knows? It can happen. I mean, I'm up for a lot of surprises in this situation, but again, looking at the composition, looking at the picks that they're actually going with, we've locked in the jet on both of those sides. It's an Omen as well as a Reyna, so a double duelist is definitely coming in for Sub-Zero. As for the controller, they're going to stick to the one that is used on this map. That's going to be an Omen. As for the initiator, no KO, no Sova, it's going to be the Fade. So Haunt is going to be important, and Prowler can also clear a ton of space. So highly possible that they might be able to use the Fade with those lineups as well. You'd get a lot of information of your opponent, but you'll have to see where the fifth player is. Their fifth player. Now that's the question. Might possibly have to go in for a restart because they might have disconnected, but in the meantime, we would have some time to discuss about the comp that the side of Blackcliff is bringing in. They've got a double duelist as well, so they're also playing with the same ideology that they want to go in on towards that aggressive side. They want to be on the driver's seat in this game. It's a KO, Reyna, Brimstone for their controller, as well as a Jet and a Killjoy. Now, again, whenever we see Brimstone, we love to see those Molly lineups. I mean, who does not love it when Brim says Molly? I said it so horribly. Please ignore that. But those smokes are, you know, the main tool that you can use. You can use 3 of those smokes, and it helps you in that site execute extremely well whenever you're going towards B or maybe towards A to block off the heaven, as well as behind the generator or even the choke point towards the tree. So those smokes are going to be extremely important. While Omen also does a pretty solid job, he has 2 smokes for at the time being, while Brim can literally use 3. But then again, the difference in the utilities is that Omen will get his smokes after the cooldown, Brim does not. So that's one of the things that they would need to focus down on. But even the stim beacon of a Brimstone can put the opposition's position in shambles, right? You always know the situation when they're going in for a wide peak, and you do not expect them to go that fast. So we might see those surprising plays coming in as well. Nonetheless, let's quickly look at the pistols that they are going in for a buy. I believe it is going to be a 4v5 either way. So that's a Sheriff, Ghost, and a couple of Classics for Sub-Zero, while Blackcliff with a Ghost, a couple of Sheriffs, Frenzy, and a Classic. So since Blackcliff are on the attack, I'm actually surprised that the Killjoy has the Frenzy. I expected Jet to probably go for it, since Jet would be dashing into the side. We've seen how Demon 1 plays for Evil Geniuses, but maybe they just want to run in with their own comfort comp. For now, Detroit FPS dashing backwards made a first contact with the turret, and the Omen smokes comes in. Not quite sure why that smoke was there, but either way, they'd be able to execute into the side. Discord quickly gets a pick off on JZ.
Right here.
The contact being made. King Tut hanging towards that A main, and Killjoy has made a lot of space towards the A side. That's only one person left, and that's Issa Monster. Would he be able to get that pick? Nope. That's a 1v3 situation. It's almost impossible for him to actually get something out of this, since he does not know the position of Jet. He's gonna swap the Ghost in. How does he work his way back? The plant has already calmed down. Yeesh. That is going to be pretty difficult for him to get something out of this. Gonna throw that haunt in. Position has been revealed with smoke. Prowler should clear some of that space. Gets the contact with the first person. Positioning has been changed, and King Third, exactly what was happening, gets the final shot in directly onto that head. To carry those frenzies and sheriffs into the next round, and the first round goes for Blackcliff. That was a pretty solid execute coming in. They made the space from towards the A side. Since they made a lot of nice towards B and mid, the rotation was called in towards that side, and they were able to win those trades as well. So at the end of the day, going in with a 3-1 advantage and towards that side execute, that was the thing that they needed to do, and they executed it perfectly. But now we should see a lot of economical advantage for the side of Blackcliff. Let's see what Sub-Zero gets out of this. The more rifles they get out of their hand, the better. And the first one already falls as Frost gets taken down. That was very solid peak coming in from Tree. And look at this, the amount of space that Fade has actually taken away is directly onto that spawn. Discord makes the contact. Jays did not calculate the perfect timing for his smoke to fall down. Reyna splash will force Detroit backwards, but he still gets that headshot. That was a nasty one. And not Luke will be able to get that stab in. Discord quickly takes that trade. Detroit does not stop, gets the third one. And that's a spike down. He knows the position of Discord as well. Missed on the timing of the door. No, he did not. Finally gets the upgrade in terms of Sheriff, and it is a 1v2 scenario. They know what Discord is up to. He will try to break that door. They're camping at the spike. Yep, he's broken the door now. Slowly clearing the space. No, there's no one playing Spawn as the CD. That's a good fragment, but he's a monster. Solid with that aim. The double peak coming in. That's an excellent comeback. And it's a 4v5. Do not forget that. That's a 4v5. So for every death, they would need to kill 2 extra players in this situation. So that's one of the things that we need to notice. Now, the economy has been broken for Blackcliff, but looking at Sub-Zero, going in with a Spectre, 3 rifles in hand. Detroit still wants to play in aggressive towards A main, a 3-2 split coming in for Blackcliff. They're playing pretty safe towards the A side. Just want to see if anyone aggresses. That's a contact being made. Frost knows Jace is there. And that knife is gonna note a few of them down at least. The dash timer is out, so Frost would need to be pretty solid at that big Jace. Get the first one, Detroit gets the second as well, and the third! Holy smokes! How did he manage to get 3 of them? They knew the position of Frost, and that's another round by Sub-Zero. The aim is impeccable. I did not expect Detroit to get 3 out of that. There were literally 3 people holding that space. They were waiting for that aggression, and even after that, Detroit is the one who comes out on top. That is outrageous. It should not be allowed. But finally, we're going to have the first gun round of the game. That's a 2-1 scoreline. Sub-Zero leading. And boy, they're making sure that the defensive side is the one that's in the lead. And that's another contact being made. Jay will be running back. Gets the smoke down. Lear throwed out. Flash coming in. That's a good pick. Erasable. Gets that rifle out. Quickly swaps it. That's a good skin though. And gets a spam through the smoke. That's 2v5. Frost does not have the knife, but Detroit does.
One enemy remaining.
Does he want to invest it in this one? Nope. That's a quick 1-for-1 trade coming in. Still a 1v3. Extremely difficult. Gets the contact. Picks up the kill. That's a good headshot coming in. Nice in play now. Lineup coming in. That's a nasty hit. Updrafts again. Wants to clear every single space. The molly goes out. Wants to clear the boathouse. But has no idea that Stark was behind the boxes. Stark gets a timing and gets the head as well as the round for his team. But it came too damn close. And talking about close is... does not want them to close in the gap at all. Picks up the Odin. Like, damn. Used up every single thread in the arsenal. Do they expect? That's the question. Teacher wants to go in for a bulldog. Even though he has the creds for a rifle though, maybe just comfortable with it. Flash comes in, but the peak timing is not perfect. That's a good pick from Detroit. Lear comes in to clear the space. Another Lear just for the surprise. They're going to clear those angles, but Detroit still managed to get 3. That's a ball bank head. Ball minute here for yes as it flashed down. Not the ace, but definitely a perfect defense from Sub-Zero. He is going a 13-2 at this point. Yeesh, how did he manage to get 3 in that? The wallbang headshot was absolutely insane. Would love to see the replay of that play. But again, Blackcliff need to cook something up. It's a 4v5. They already are in a man advantage. They've got the no command to work with for this round. So, Spike not yet committed. Frost just holding the angle. That's a first pick for not Luke, and Monster as well gets the first one. That's a good... whoa! It was not a headshot, and Isa Monster is pushing the B main like anything. And how is Detroit getting all those picks? Jeez. He managed to get one more in this round, and that was a very good headshot coming in from not Luke, from that mid right towards the cat. We'll probably see a pace change coming in from Blackcliff since all 5 of them are stagnant towards B main. But go for that Killjoy setup. Do not want to contest against Luke in that one. And look at the amount of space being taken away in mid. It's Monster and not Luke. Both of them just cleared all of that mid space. And will now meet up with Omen to make sure that he is not being hit. And that's the contact made. Luke. That's too damn good on that shot. Jays, he's got the Odin in his hand. Do they expect him in that corner? That's going to be the question. His squad is clearing those angles, and Jay is in the utility form. The knife could be everything, but the timing on this, does he note him? No, he missed it. Jays gets the timing. He gets two of them, and Monster as well, helping him out. And that's an updraft and a dash right into the crosshair of King Tut. Gets to one, but has to take care of three of them, and that's all he would manage as Spiff goes into the hands of Sub-Zero, up 5-2. Just look at that replay, that nasty shot from Luke and Monster. Quick adjustment coming in, and Jays, he was playing anti-flash the entire time, and he was not cleared. That should be heartbreaking for Discord. I mean, he could have just got a perfect pick.
Watch them falter.
But nonetheless, they were not able to do that. Now, would Jays go in for this spam? He could get a lot of value out of it. And yes, he does go in for that spam and gets the one-man pick while Monster supports him, gets two more. Three, in fact, as Saint finally tries something. But that's all he would be able to manage to scrap out of this round. Only one pick, and that's the 8th for Sub-Zero. 6-2 now, lead of 4. Oh my God. They're just decimating Black Cliff at this point. They know every single move of theirs. They were just waiting for that knife to come in, and what a perfect timing for Jay.
Keep up.
That was beautiful play, and now the buy is broken for Black Cliff. Got a few rifles. They've managed to somehow squeeze some buy out, but Sheriff to work with. And now 4 of them towards the A. The contact. Decroid gets one, gets 2 through the smoke. Spams a little more before dashing out just to deal a little more damage, but that's nasty. And the spray down from Monster gets the remaining 2, and they're just waiting. They should already know. The sound should have been given. The reload should give him away, and that's Monster getting the 3rd in the round. It's Monster and Decroid just decimating the entire lineup of Black Cliff. This 4v5 just seems outworldly, and get that play. Beautiful adjustment onto that. Lovely smoke, knew the position, spammed through that, and then went back to safety. Yeah, and at this point, you would expect Black Cliff's economy to be broken, but they still have a few crits to get in, a couple of rifles, bulldogs as well, and navies now. Somehow counter that Odin spam. The C's did not connect onto anyone. Spray down is coming in. That's going to be the knife scanning a couple of people, probably not Luke. Gets 2 of them. They do not have any idea from the mid look, and that's going to be the back. Not being watched for not Luke, but he's already done the damage. Gets 3 of them. Oh, the crosses. Perfect. And Monster finished things off. The 10th. 8-2 already. I was expecting Sub-Zero to get probably an 8-4, but they might as well end things at 10-2 if this goes on. 9-3 is the best that Black Cliff could actually try to squeeze out of this situation. Now, I know Ascent is a defense-sided map, but they're just running over them at this point. No respect being shown. It's pure aim battle, and Saint does not even have a shield in this round. Wants to go in for that rifle buy without any shield. Oh, the timing on Stark. You could get one. Saint already picks a Monster. That's the first pick coming in. Not Luke quickly trades it out. That's Reina out of the picture. Decroid FPS taking pros. That's the Jet battle, and he wins it. As Jays erases Erasable Stark.
Last round in the half.
King Tut decimated as well. I haven't seen Black Cliff working their way for a split. Maybe Cat or Mid. They're all going in through that main, and the read by Sub-Zero is absolutely on point through all of those attacking halves. Nowhere are we going to see a double op coming in. Please no. They do have the creds for dropping a couple of rifles as well. Probably have already done that, but do they expect the double op? That's Detroit going in for that jiggle peek. Erasable finally gets that shut down. This might actually be the round that they've been waiting for. The rotation is coming in, all of them just moving towards the A side. B is absolutely empty, and the read of Blackcliff is perfect. Look at the way the rotations are being called. Do they expect the Brimstone into that angle? That is the question, Jays. He is in the market. Timing could be everything. He goes up. He does not notice it. He's got perfect timing to get that Odin out of the hands. That's already two people removed, but the trade comes in. Not Luke quickly taking Sane down. And the plant is going to go in. Retake. A 2v4 scenario. Lockdown was also invested, so they have to respect it. And Frost gets the better of Monster. And that's a thrifty round win for Blackcliff, ending things at 9-3. Not the way I expected them to, but definitely the result they would have wanted. Especially seeing the situation that they were in.
Thanks. Gun here.
It's going to be an uphill battle for Blackcliff. An extremely difficult one at that, but the attacking half is going to be concerning for Sub-Zero because they've got limited utilities to work with. They do not have anyone towards the backstab. They've got someone to open the side. They've got a paranoia to work with, a couple of flashes, prowlers. So they should be able to go in for some decent executes, but timing would be everything because the backstab can come in at any point and they would have to invest one person to watch it. The C's not catching anyone. Did not probably go where he wanted it to go. That horn destroyed quickly. The pizza is not a safe place for Frost. And he gets deleted. That's a 4v4 situation. Jace goes in for another pick. Takes care. Oh, Jace. He takes care of Razorbill, and that's Monster getting yet another pick and a flawless round for Sub-Zero to start things off in this attacking half. And that's the body spray down. Sheesh. It's showing who the alpha is in this game. Now that's the kind of execute that you would expect Sub-Zero to go forward with. Those aggressive plays, that aggressive play style. We've been talking about that since a long time, since basically the stream began. And they're proving it to us. They're showing that even a 4v5 could go in your favor. Did not go in for that same set play like in the previous round with the C's, but definitely want to work towards the mid. They already have the control of mid. Now working their way towards the market. Rotation has been called off, so alarm bot taken care of. The spray coming insane with that Bucky gets Monster out, but Detroit quickly trades off. Frost taken out. Erasable also has the Bucky in hand, and that's King Tut getting the better of Detroit FPS, but not Luke quickly trading him as well. It's 2v3. Definitely doable, seeing how Sub-Zero has been playing. Luke has the Vandal in hand. This timing could be everything for him. The entire round could go in his favor. But Discord, he probably has an idea. Did he notice? Not Luke. Going in towards that side. He's making a lot of noise. He has no idea. Not Luke. Just getting the better of Discord. The plant has gone in, and now it's a 2v2 scenario and a retake with Bucky. Sen has got a Bulldog though.
Here.
Erasable with a Spectre in hand, so definitely possible. They do have an idea of the positioning of not Luke. I mean, can he go for a pick? That's a double peek, and that's 1-for-1. He's gonna come down for one, but Jace gets in a good position to take Saint down and wins the round as well. The clock was ticking down, so they had to make a move. That was a perfect peak time. The alt economy is working as well for Sub-Zero. Jay is gonna get is from the shadows as well after one, not Luke. Just need two more to get the Empress. Detroit 3 away from his ultimate, but we know how well he's been going for those 3Ks, so can definitely get that in this round if possible. But again, the buy is just not there for the side of Blackcliff. Judge, Ares, Bucky, Spectre, and a Bulldog. That is rough. That is extremely rough. And again, the play is going to come in. Sub-Zero has been working their way through mid a lot. So Black Cliff should have a read onto that. They should probably invest a couple of more players in towards that mid. Maybe.
Spike planted. My ultimate is ready.
Last player standing.
Oh, was that important?
That's 11-4. That's going to be one of the most difficult uphill battle for their side. But the economy of Sub-Zero has broken down. So they've managed to get a hero rifle on board, a bulldog, a sheriff, and a bucky to work with. But looking at the other side, you've got a judge spectacle of rifles as well as an Ares for the spam. So the buy is definitely in favor of Black Cliff, and so is the number. But not Luke, clearing every single angle. A lot of noise being made in the mid. Saint gets quick pick, but not Luke. Trades it out. Frost has been taken down. Invisible Stark. Getting yet another one. So main control still has not been taken, but look at how deep Monster is. Directly in the spawn. He could make a play of his lifetime, especially in this round. Saint has an idea that it might be everywhere with just a sheriff in hand. Discord takes the head of Jays. And now Monster in a 1v4. Gets a peek, gets a pick. Has an idea, knows where the spike is, but did not know the position of Discord. Perfect peek and a perfect shot to land in 5th for their side. Still 6 to cover the lead up, but at least they'll be able to get a buy in. Still, Erasable wanna work with the Bulldog. Pretty comfortable with that rifle, I believe. While Blackcliff still do not have the money for the full creds. Vector half shield, Bulldog half shield, and then a couple of rifles with the halves as well. Ult is just gonna roll in. They have the Empress to work with, so they're definitely going for those aggressive plays. Haunt comes in, clears the space, which basically they were able to see, but either way, that's the Prowler. Getting the position of one, spam through the smoke. Decoy did not get that pick, but they have an idea of Discord behind the box. Should be cleared. No, they did not, and that's the play. Discord takes one, but has also been taken down. Now the Heaven Control. Necroid takes King Tut, but Erasable quick with that trade on that rifle. Two v3. Post plant positioning. Reyna with the Leer.
One enemy remaining.
This duel is going to be important, and Jay still wins it out. And not Luke as well, winning his own, putting their team to match point. I thought that was a perfect timing coming in, but still somehow Jay manages to get a ridiculous flick. I want to see that in replay. How did he manage to do that? That was a round-saving play coming in from him. Otherwise, it would have been everything on Luke's head. Or on shoulders, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Get out of my way.
the match point for them. Horn did not quite clear the side though, but that's Decoy taking one. Taking down the Frost. Finally gets in the pick. Does he manage to find Star? Yes, he does. Not Luke. He might be there. Smokes coming in. Jay quickly going in from the other side. There's a perfect pinch coming in onto that side. That's plant. It will be going down. They do note the position. King Tut wanted to go in for the spam. Probably connecting a shot or two, but the Odin in the hands of Discord. Not quite good as Luke takes him down. A 1v2. And that's all for the match as it's 13-5. And Sub-Zero wins it out.
No charges.
Why is the game not over? Huh? Hey you. Okay. Okay. Finally, we're back. All right. I thought there was something going on, but either ways, that was the match coming in. Sub Zero with a 4v5 situation and somehow making it work. That's mind boggling. That is literally mind boggling because they were a man down in every single round and they managed to get those picks, those finishes. I really would love to see the replay of that entire match because the way that every single one of them played, Jay just knowing that he needed to put that utility on point, so not going in for those aggressive peaks, just holding those angles whilst Detroit knew he needed to create space for his team. Monster followed it up perfectly with his teammate, and they just managed to get them one after the other. Even Luke on that Reina, you always know Reina is going to either a top frag or a bottom frag, and he literally had a top fragging performance, if not for Detroit, with that nasty jet play coming in. Those knives were perfect, and one round on the attacking half, he was the one who almost got the round for his team, and the updraft play coming in, everything was just so perfect. Shows how well coordinated their play was. Yes, a few utilities were here and there, but nonetheless, they did manage to get the win in the game, 13-5. And that was an amazing play coming in from Sub Zero. I believe Blackcliff definitely learned a lot from this game. And again, the mid control is extremely important whenever you're coming into any kind of map. If you've got the mid control, you can threaten a pinch from main as well as a mid, and that is exactly what Sub Zero was using. Blackcliff did do that kind of play in a couple of rounds and they managed to win that out. And in the defensive up, the moment I thought everything was done and dusted, Blackcliff just somehow pulled out a couple of rounds for them. And kind of, it was a slither of hope that they probably had, and I kind of wanted to see the comeback coming in, but nonetheless, that's going to be Sub Zero getting the win in this game, and it was Blackcliff who would be learning a lot of things from this one, and that was the scrims match coming in, guys, the best of one, and boy, we were delighted with a treat in that game. Now, you were watching Crowd Control Esports presents weekly customs of Valorant. Now, follow us for more in the future, and you know it will be coming in. Hit that like button as well if you love the stream, and definitely leave the suggestions in the comment section. Yes, I know I pronounced suggestions wrong, but just tongue slip coming in. Now, all the jokes apart, guys, thank you all for tuning in. This has been Scared Yet, your caster, and that's the weekly streams concluded for today.